show you in the Bible. We're showing you here, like you already know. There's a difference between the Nilotic, the real Africans, and the Israelites. So they're both so-called black people, right? So even the scholars know the difference. So it's going to show you the lineage of Ham. It's going to make a distinction.
And one of 8 persons to live through the flood.
You know the 3 sons, right? Of Noah? You know Noah?
Yes, sir.
Noah had 3 sons, right?
Fill me in one more time with that name.
Okay. One of them was named Ham, Japhet, and Shem.
I never knew that.
You never knew that?
No, sir.
Okay, so Noah had 3 sons. So you know about the flood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, after the flood, he saved Noah and his families and their wives. There was Noah, his 3 sons, and their wives. Out of them, they repopulated the earth.
Yeah,
now we're reading, yes sir?
Can I say, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was told about the flood too as well, that the flood was caused due to the fact that inbreeding. So like Nephilim's giants, and he was trying to get rid of that, so that's why he sent the flood.
No. See, that's from a different book, not from the Bible. That's like the Mormons and all that.
Yes, sir,
Book of Enoch and all that. That's not in the Bible.
Right,
that's outside.
Right now. Yes,
that's
sir.
because of sin.
Sure.
But we're gonna stay with this. Read this.
Definition of Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor.
The progenitor, right? Means the father
of the dark races.
So, of the dark races.
Not the Negroes.
See how they make the distinction? Even the scholars know.
Right.
He's the father of the dark races, but not the Negroes. Now we're gonna see the distinction.
But the Egyptians,
the real Africans, right? The Egyptians.
Ethiopians
came from Ham.
Liberians,
the Liberians,
and Canaanites.
And the Canaanites, right? Those are the pretended. Those are the real Africans.
That's right.
So it's showing that not the Negroes, showing not the Israelites, not the Nigerians, not the so-called African Americans from Liberia, so on and so forth, all our people scattered around. Now let's go back to this. I want to break this down again to you. Go back to this start.
The book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
Because the history was when, hold this, under King Solomon, we sinned. So the Lord broke the nation in half. The southern kingdom, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, stood with the lineage of Solomon's son, and the rest Ephraim, the northern kingdom, they split. So at that time, that's why we both went into captivity, the so-called Hispanic, the so-called black. We split. And they said at that time, when Christ comes, he's going to gather us together.
I will also gather all nations.
And not just with us, now he's going to get all the rest of the nation, which is not his chosen people.
And will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
The valley of decision. He's going to gather all the nations that went against us at one spot. That's around the so-called Middle East, right?
And will plead with them there.
As we read, pleading don't mean, hey, what's going on? Saying, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to afflict you for what you did to my people.
And will plead with them there for my people.
For his people. You see that? That's why I'm bringing you there. For my people, Israel, us.
For my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations.
Because the other nations, they the one that did this. What's the one behind?
Right there.
Look at this.
Right to your right.
They scattered us among the nations. Now you see this, right? The slave trade. And before this, there was the sub-Saharan slave trade. Right. The Arabs had us as slaves before the so-called white men, right?
That's right.
And parted my land.
What did it mean, part of his land? Who's in Jerusalem right now? Who are the 2 people fighting for that land?
The Russians and no, I'm wrong, right?
It's the so-called Jewish, right? The so-called,
yes, sir.
The real Jews, and the Palestinians, right? The Arabs. They said these 2 have parted my land. Now these 2 people are fighting over my land. They split it in half, right?
And they have cast lots for my people.
What do you mean by they cast lots? When you cast lots, they selling our people. 200, 300, this is casting lots. They said lots for my people. That happened to us, the so-called Hispanic, the so-called black, historically correct.
And have given a boy for an harlot.
Say what they would use our men, our forefathers, for breeders, harlots. They would take the biggest ones and they'll make them breeders to have the biggest and strongest slave, right?
And sold a girl for wine.
They would take our girls for wine, to abuse them, for guns. They will do that. They did that.
they might drink.
Go ahead.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Now he's going to call out two specific nations, right? Remember, I asked you who's in the land right now. Read that again.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Oh, Tyre and Sidon. Tyre are the so-called, Africans, right? Now, they're not there no more. The people out there right now are the so-called Palestinians, the Arabs, the Turks. He said, what you got to do with me, O Tyre
and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine?
Right, with the Palestinians. They ain't there. They the one that split us up in there, right? So he said, what you got to do with me that you did this to my people, right? I didn't choose you.
Will ye render me a recompense? And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Right, so that's why he said, I'm gonna take you to the valley of Jehoshaphat, because you sold my people. You took my men, you made them as breeders, you slaved them, you sold them, you raped my daughters. You sold them for money, wine, drugs. They sold them. But we read that was Bible prophecy, and it came to happen. The Arabs, the Europeans, the so-called white men, was the Bible called them Esau, Edomites, and the real Africans. The real Africans, not the Israelites, because the Israelites are so-called also black people. You're an Israelite. Like my brothers here, we're Israelites, right? We're woolly hair, but they're not the same people. They come from Ham, we come from Shem. That's historical. So is my brother gonna come out? That's what we're showing right here. All this right here is Bible prophecy. All this happened because why? Disobedience. Because God chose us. Did you read? Go back to Amos 3. Come back up. Amos 3:1 again. All this happened because of disobedience. And to get out of it, we gotta obey.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
What is the nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.